In this video, I'll show you 6 phrases that women use when they're starting to have feelings for you. These aren't just any words. They're carefully chosen phrases that reflect her growing feelings for you. You'll be able to tell when a woman's feelings for you are changing without her having to say it outright. How can you start recognizing these phrases? First, it's important to really listen. Many of these signs are formed by seemingly casual comments that have much deeper meanings. This video helps you decipher these hidden messages and respond in a way that strengthens your relationship with her. Before we get into the 6 key phrases, please subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications. Here we talk about the psychology of relationships and give you communication and personal growth tools you can use to improve not only your romantic life, but all the relationships in it. Stay tuned until the end of the video, because I have one more bonus tip that will really help you understand these 6 phrases better. By the end of the video, you will not only know what they are, but also why they're important and how to answer them in a way that makes you unforgettable. The first word: I've never told anyone this before. When a woman expresses, "I've never told anyone this before," she's revealing her feelings for you. First, she feels safe with you. Sharing personal or sensitive information is not something anyone does lightly. It takes courage and a sense of emotional security to open up, and the fact that she's doing this with you means she values the connection you've built. Second, she's trying to deepen the bond by sharing something private. She's creating an opportunity for you to reciprocate and build a shared sense of intimacy. She's telling you, "I trust you enough to show you a part of myself that other people don't get to see." This is a big step in any relationship and a psychological sign that she's starting to feel something for you. This phrase utilizes the concept of emotional vulnerability. Relationship psychologists have found that being vulnerable is a key part of building trust and closeness. When someone shares something personal, they're saying, "Here's a part of me that I don't show the world. Can I trust you with it?" For women, emotional connections are crucial in relationships. Telling personal stories is a beneficial way to see if you can handle deeper conversations and create a safe emotional place. It's also a subtle way for her to gauge your interest in listening to and interacting with her. So, how should you respond when a woman says, "I've never told anyone this before"? First, give her your full attention. Put down your phone, look her in the eye, and show that you're paying attention. Next, confirm how she feels. You can say something like, "That's really brave of you to share that," or "I'm honored that you trust me with that." If it's appropriate, share something personal about yourself in return. You don't have to be as open as she is right away, but showing that you're willing to do so will strengthen the connection. Finally, if she told you something important, bring it up in a later conversation to show that you remembered and cared. When a woman says, "I've never told anyone this before," she means it. The way she talks about her thoughts shows that she's growing feelings for you and wants to get closer to you. Recognizing this phrase and responding carefully can strengthen your relationship and take it further. The second line says, "You're so different from other guys." Women don't just mean well when they say, "You're so different from other guys." It indicates that she is genuinely intrigued by the unique qualities that set you apart. At its core, this term shows admiration and interest. She wants you to know that there's something unique about you. She often uses this phrase when you've accomplished something truly remarkable. Whether it's your kindness, intelligence, or sense of humor, she's telling you that you've impressed her and that she rates you higher than others. At first glance, this may seem like a simple compliment, but it's actually a much deeper message that you've exceeded her expectations. This could be due to how you handle problems, treat her, or act confidently and honestly. It's also a sign that she's been thinking about your interactions. Women usually don't compare men unless they're thinking about how you fit into their lives. This phrase suggests that she's judging you on a deeper level, seeing you as someone who could potentially hold a special place in her life. From a psychological point of view, this phrase relates to the idea of selective attention. When someone is interested in you, their brain naturally focuses on the things that make you unique and memorable. By pointing out what makes you different, she's recognizing that you stand out in a crowded field of potential suitors. Don't just brush it off or make a joke about it. Instead, take her seriously. You could say, "Thank you. That really means a lot," or even, "What makes you say that?" This gives her the opportunity to elaborate on what she appreciates about you, thereby strengthening your connection and conversation. It also demonstrates your confidence and ability to accept praise. Being gracious is a quality that women find very beautiful. What do you think about when a woman starts to ask you for your opinion on personal or important issues? If you're having serious conversations with her, it means she cares about what you have to say and values your opinion. You might think that an effortless question like, "What do you think about?" isn't very deep, but it is. She might want to know what you think about relationships, life goals, or even touchy subjects. She wants to know if your values and goals match hers. More importantly, she's showing that she cares about what you think, which is a strong sign of growing feelings. If a woman asks you what you think, it means she counts you in her thoughts. This isn't something women usually do with people they don't care about. Asking for your opinion shows that she values your opinion and sees you as someone whose point of view she wants to understand. For example, if she asks what you think about marriage or traveling abroad, she's subtly checking to see if you two are compatible. This is her way of determining whether your ideas align with her long-term goals. This phrase also shows that you believe that she's ready for deep conversations and wants to see how you handle them. This amount of communication usually means that there is an emotional link that goes beyond simple interactions. Psychologically, asking someone what they think validates their thoughts. If a woman is beginning to feel a connection with you, she will instinctively seek opportunities to involve you in her decisions. Even if it's subtle, this shows that she values your perspective and is starting to see you as a partner in her mental and emotional world. This behavior also ties into the concept of rapport building. According to research, mutual respect and understanding are key elements of strong relationships. When she asks, "What do you think?" she's creating opportunities to build that mutual respect. When she asks for your opinion, take it as an opportunity to showcase your emotional depth and thoughtfulness. Avoid giving generic answers or dismissing her questions as unimportant. Instead, offer a well-considered response that reflects your values and personality. For example, if she asks about a sensitive topic, acknowledge her question first by saying something like, "That's a really interesting question," before sharing your perspective. Be open to discussing deeper ideas, and if you're unsure about something, don't be afraid to admit it. Also, don't be afraid to ask her what she thinks about the question. Being honest and real goes a long way. By thoughtfully responding to her questions and showing that you value them, you can strengthen the connection and show her that she can trust and rely on you. Pay attention to this phrase. This phrase facilitates a deeper personal connection. The fourth sentence. Some women say, "I feel so comfortable around you." This is one of the clearest signs that she cares about you personally. A real connection requires comfort, and when she says this out loud, you've made it safe for her to be herself. As straightforward as it may seem, when she expresses her comfort around you, it signifies a release of her guard. In the early stages of attraction, people often show an idealized version of themselves, but when she's truly at ease, she's willing to let go of that mask and show you her true self. It also means she feels emotionally safe. When she believes that you won't judge her, ignore her feelings, or break her trust, she feels safe. This is a big step in any relationship, because a woman will only let herself connect with you more deeply when she feels safe. This phrase shows compatibility. Comfort means being in sync with yourself and how you communicate, not just feeling safe. She deeply instills the styles and values that she holds dear. This saying also relates to the concept of emotional contagion. Positive interactions with her, like making her laugh or showing understanding, create an emotional resonance that makes her feel positive when she's with you. Over time, this feeling of comfort grows as she connects your presence with positive emotions. The idea of sincerity is another psychological factor at play. Women value partners who are honest and consistent. If your actions, words, and attitude create a stable and accepting environment, she'll naturally feel more at ease around you and be more likely to open up emotionally. When she says, "I feel so comfortable around you," you should acknowledge it. When a woman says, "I feel so comfortable around you," it's a strong sign of trust and emotional connection. A simple, "That means a lot to me," or "I'm glad you feel that way," will only make her feel better. In addition to being close, you must make her feel emotionally and mentally safe. Understanding and fostering this comfort can lead to a deeper, more important relationship. The fifth word. When a woman says, "I was thinking about you," it's not just a passing comment, it shows how her thoughts are changing. This phrase indicates that she continues to think about you, even when you're not present, either because she brought up a topic that reminded her of you, or simply to let you know that you're on her mind. This sentence shows that she values your presence and the connection you share. It's a clear sign that you're becoming an important part of her emotional world. This phrase is a subtle but powerful sign of emotional attachment. When someone is feeling something, they naturally start to think about that person more often. By telling you that she's been thinking about you, she's letting you know that you're always on her mind, even when she's busy. Women don't say this out of the blue unless they feel a link. To determine if the feelings are shared, she might share a memory or discuss something she saw that reminded her of you. At its core, this phrase represents longing and emotional resonance. She's inviting you into her inner world and subtly letting you know that you're becoming an important part of her life. Psychologically, this phrase aligns with the concept of emotional anchoring. When someone starts to associate positive feelings and experiences with you, their mind naturally starts to dwell on those moments. This is why she finds herself thinking about you and feels compelled to share it. This phrase can also stem from the psychological need for reciprocity. It strengthens your relationship when she tells you she's been thinking about you. It's her way of saying, "You matter to me," and hoping to hear that you do too. When she says, "I was thinking about you," don't play it down or brush it off. Instead, acknowledge it with warmth and interest. Say, "That's so sweet of you to think of me," or "I'm flattered. What were you thinking?" This will allow you to dig deeper into the conversation and show that you appreciate her kindness. Share something meaningful in return, like, "I've been thinking about you too," or bring up a memory that you both exchanged. The phrase, "I've never told anyone this before," means that a woman is sharing something crucial with you. It shows that you believe her and want to get close to her emotionally. She's showing you a side of herself that she doesn't usually let other people see, and she wants you to be her. Secret agent. This phrase usually comes up during deep conversations or when both of you have reached a point of trusting each other. It's her way of saying, "You're special to me and I feel safe opening up to you." Noticing how important this moment is can strengthen your relationship and elevate it. When a woman says, "I've never told anyone this before," she's putting herself out there. letting you see a side of her that she usually keeps hidden. It also means emotional exclusivity. By telling you something private, she's separating you from other people in her life. It's her way of testing your ability to handle her vulnerability with care and respect. Trust is the basis of all meaningful connections, and when she shares this level of intimacy, it's clear that her feelings for you are growing stronger. This saying fits with the psychological idea that being vulnerable brings people closer together. Researchers have found that sharing personal and important events makes people feel closer to each other and makes their bond stronger. When she says, "I've never told anyone this before," she's seeing how well you can handle how open she is about her feelings. If you respond with empathy and understanding, it reassures her that you're someone she can rely on emotionally. This is particularly important because women are often cautious about sharing vulnerable aspects of themselves, fearing judgment or rejection. When she says, "I've never told anyone this before," the most important thing you can do is listen attentively, resist the urge to interrupt or shift the focus to yourself. Instead, respond with empathy by saying something like, "Thank you for trusting me with this, it means a lot." Validate her feelings by acknowledging the significance of what she's shared. For example, you could say, "That sounds like it was really difficult," or "I admire your courage for sharing that with me." Avoid giving unsolicited advice unless she explicitly asks for it. Sometimes she just needs to feel heard and understood. If you feel comfortable, consider reciprocating by sharing something meaningful about yourself. This creates a mutual exchange of trust, and vulnerability makes your bond stronger. When a woman says, "I've never told anyone this before," she's giving you a rare and valuable look into her private life. Responding with empathy and understanding not only builds trust, but also makes the emotional link stronger. These kinds of moments make relationships important and last. Psychologists closely link women's indirect communication to the concepts of trust, emotional safety, and vulnerability in a relationship. Trust is the basis for emotional intimacy. Women often feel like they need to slowly earn someone's trust before they tell them how they really feel. They can show how they feel without overwhelming the other person or revealing too much too soon through subtle expressions. To make real connections with women, you need to understand the psychology behind their subtle emotional expressions. By recognizing the underlying trust, emotional safety, and vulnerability at play, you can respond with more empathy and awareness. This improves both your communication and your connection with the woman. Remember, her indirect communication often signals the emergence of deeper emotions, and observing these subtle signs can provide valuable insights into her emotional state. We must understand that responding to these phrases necessitates thoughtful consideration, being real and having care. The most important thing is to support her feelings and show that you value the trust and vulnerability she's putting in you. Here are some suggestions for how to respond. It's important to recognize her sensitivity when she shares something private or emotional, like, "I've never told anyone this before." Thanking her for sharing that with you, or telling me that you trust me, makes her feel seen and heard, which reinforces the emotional safety she's looking for. If she shares feelings like love or thoughts about you, respond with empathy by saying something like, "I was thinking about you," or "I'm flattered that you were thinking about me," or "I was thinking about you too." Your response should show that you understand how she feels and value the connection. Ask open-ended questions like, "What made you think of that?" or "Tell me more about it," when she starts to talk about something. This will keep the conversation going and strengthen your emotional connection. Let her lead the conversation, but show interest and share your feelings. It can strengthen the connection if you feel comfortable sharing a personal experience or thought in response. For example, if she says, "I was thinking about you," you could say, "I've been thinking about you a lot too." This keeps the exchange balanced and real. Equally important is being aware of common mistakes that could hurt the connection. If she tells you something personal or vulnerable and you brush it off, it could hurt the trust she's trying to build. For example, saying, "Oh, that's nice," or laughing off her comment can make her feel like her words don't matter. Always listen to what she has to say and respect how open she is. If she says something that makes you feel uncomfortable, like admitting a weakness or showing deep affection, don't get defensive or avoid the conversation. Questions like, "Why are you saying that?" or "Why do you care so much?" can create emotional distance. Instead, be open and acknowledge her feelings. If she says something deep, don't respond with all of your own thoughts or feelings at once. Give her time to say what she wants to say before you respond. Excessive information can halt the conversation and leave her feeling unheard. Responding carefully to the words women use can help you understand them better. If someone is feeling something for you, it's a chance to build a stronger emotional bond by recognizing her feelings. By avoiding common mistakes and building rapport based on her cues, you can create a deeper bond. Being genuine and empathetic in your answers makes her feel seen, valued, and emotionally safe, which sets the stage for a strong, long-lasting relationship. You now understand these subtle phrases and how they affect women, so use what you've learned. Pay close attention to the conversations you have with women, not just the words they use, but also the emotional tone and background of what they say. Are you picking up on any of these phrases? Do her actions and body language match what she says? Knowing these signs will help you understand how she feels and move through the stages of emotional connection more easily. But don't rush or push for answers. Let the relationship grow naturally. Be in the present and pay attention to her cues. By paying attention to these small signs, you'll become more in tune with her feelings and be better able to react with empathy, understanding, and honesty. Mutual trust, respect, and emotional alignment foster deeper connections, so pay attention to those subtle expressions. They may convey more than you realize. If you found this information useful, please like, follow, and share it with others who could benefit. Stay tuned for more insights into how people think and feel in partnerships. Thanks for watching this movie. I'll see you in the next one.